Hey, Scarefest fans. I wish I could go to the movies and review something for you. It's kind of tough, though. So, I'm doing my job from home, watching a toddler, a little bit of an issue trying to find something new. What I decided I would do, since we're at the end of the world as we know it, I'm joking, we'll be fine. But I did think that I'd talk a little bit about some of my favorite films, specifically John Carpenter. He did three movies throughout the 80s and early 90s that he calls his Apocalypse trilogy. One of them is my favorite John Carpenter film. You may have heard of it, The Thing, which is semi sort of a remake of The Thing from Another World, really directed by Howard Hawks. Look up that whole story. We could talk about it here. And it's based on a book by John W. Campbell called Who Goes There. And nobody knows who they are. It's about a quarantine. You're trying to stay. I gave away the next one. You're trying to figure out what the thing is. The thing attacks people and it becomes them. So you don't know who the thing is. So once again, who has COVID-19, who doesn't have COVID-19, so I stay in my house. Nobody trusts anybody. Sound familiar? If you've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, we can't be friends. But maybe we can be friends if you go out and watch it and have a good time with it. I truly, truly suggest you see it. The next on the list was a movie called Prince of Darkness. Now, Prince of Darkness has a lot of cast of characters from some of his other films, number one being Donald Pleasence. One of my favorite movies that no one quite understands. It says it's written by Martin Quatermass. Actually, that's a pseudonym for John Carpenter. If you know anything about Quatermass and the Pit and the Quatermass films, you should, by the way. Check those out. There's a British horror film. Let me do a whole thing about that. That might be fun. It's about a priest who dies, and it's a church, and they've been hiding this basic tube of green goo down in the basement for hundreds or centuries. And basically it's Satan, but Satan is at a sub-nuclear level kind of thing. It has a little bit to do with well, I'm just not going to get into it. None of that really makes a lot of sense. It's interesting. It makes a lot of great gobbledygook dialogue, and it has a downer ending, like all three of these. Now, the one that I really want to suggest, because I think most of you probably have seen The Thing. Do you read Sutter Kane? In the Mouth of Madness is a John Carpenter film that I feel like it gets overlooked quite a bit. He made it for New Line Cinema, and they cut the budget in the early 90s. And basically, it's a Lovecraft film where they never mention Lovecraft, and it just kind of gives odes to Lovecraft. So there's this writer named Sutter Kane, and his books will drive you crazy, kind of like Stephen King. He's huge, only bigger than Stephen King. And he goes missing, and they hire a private investigator played by Sam Neill, to find him. It may very well be John Carpenter's last masterpiece. I like vampires quite a bit. I love his only one. He made two Masters of Horror, but the one I like is called Cigarette Burns. Check that out too. It does have a downer ending, but it's a fantastic film. It's beautifully shot by the late Gary Kibbe. He's a director of photography, just passed away, cinematographer. Please check out In the Mouth of Madness. If you've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, check out The Thing and Prince of Darkness. All of them have downer endings. They're all basically about the beginning and the end of the world, and I truly recommend them all. Now, once again, stay in your home. Don't get up to any tomfoolery out there, and I'll see you hopefully in the fall. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Stay classy. Scarefest.